Hello and welcome to 𝗍𝗵𝗂𝐻ouseplants.com, where we teach you all about gardening in the great indoors. Today's video is sponsored by our Amazon affiliate link, which you can see in the description below. Today I'm going to talk about proper lighting for your houseplants. Of all things you do for your houseplants, proper lighting is critical. Now, improper lighting won't necessarily kill your plants, although it can. More often than not, what improper lighting will do is it will make your plants not grow very well. It will make your plants not look really good. It will make your plants susceptible to pests and diseases. And if you have flowering and fruiting plants, they won't flower or fruit. So that, as you can see, is a pretty good reason to have really good lighting for your plants. Now, some signs of inadequate light: stretching and reaching for light, sparse growth with long distances between leaf sets. So when you get those long stems, or you get on plants and you only have leaves here, leaves here, leaves here, that's a sign of inadequate light. Lower foliage loss, that's definitely a sign of inadequate light. So if the plant starts to lose leaves on the bottom, that means it doesn't have enough light. An overall loss of vitality, so the leaves may be pale, the flower is non-existent like I mentioned a little while ago, and pest and disease problem, as I also mentioned. Or if you had a little bit of a pest and disease problem, it could become much worse later on. So that being said, lighting, like I said, is key. So yes, bright windows are great. And if you have an eastern window, that is ideal, because that gives you a lot of really nice, gentle light in the morning. So that is a really nice place. Western exposures give you a very harsh sunlight in the evening. So those, for most plants, are not great to have plants right in front of the window. You have to pull them back a bit. And you may even need shades for that because that light is very harsh. Some signs of plants getting too much light is that they would get burn, so burn marks, and those are little brown marks on the leaves that happen, say, especially after a sunny day, and all of a sudden the plant has a bunch of brown leaves on it. Then that is a sign that it got too much light. Also, some yellowing could mean that it's getting too much light. So that being said, watch that western window. Northern windows have a nice light, except that it is a very dim light. So that is one where you would not put a plant that likes bright light. And then the southern window changes throughout the years, throughout the year, according to season, more than any of the other windows. So at some times of the year, it may be a perfect spot for a plant that likes a lot of light. At other times, it may not be. At other times, it may be a better spot for for plants that like medium to low light. Okay. So generally speaking, if you want to grow flowering plants, most flowering plants, there are a few exceptions. Peace lily likes a medium to low light, and African violets like a northern exposure window. But a lot of other plants, avocado trees, anything else that fruits, strawberries, which you can grow indoors with the right lighting, and anything that flowers, begonias, all of those beautiful plants and orchids need a really good bright light. And that indoors, in most indoors, unless you have an amazing skylight, wouldn't that be great, is going to come through artificial lighting. So artificial lighting, what you want to look for in artificial lighting, and this is a good one that I use, is what you want to look for is that it is full spectrum lighting. It's very important that it's full spectrum lighting because that mimics daylight. So there are some products that will say grow lights, but they aren't necessarily full spectrum lighting. The great news about the full spectrum lighting products on the market now is that they can be put into a regular socket. So they can be put into lamps. They can be put into overhead fixtures. I like to use these sorts of fixtures because you see the clamp, you can clamp this up above a plant. Maybe there's a plant that you need to give a little bit more light to right now and that sort of thing. And so you see there's like I said, the clamp, you can clamp it onto, just make sure that it's secure. You don't want this falling. Now, this is the bigger one of these grow lights here. And even this one will fit into this sockets, but you do check when you get one of these to make sure that they are going to fit, but these are pretty standard. Now, this one I'm showing you here is actually for flower and fruit. They do have ones for foliage plants, leafier plants as well. And what this flower and fruit type of bulb has in it has more red light, because that's what flower and fruiting plants need, is more of the red light. So when you do use full spectrum lighting, you want it ideally to be coming onto the top of a plant, so coming within a few inches of the top of a plant. Now, the bigger the plant, the higher up you can go. So for instance, if you have a really tall floor plant, you could be 2 feet up above and you would be using a bigger bulb. But if they're smaller plants, you want it right on top. So keep that in mind as well. Other products such as AeroGarden, which has a built-in lighting system, are also great to put plants underneath and have the full spectrum lighting going down on them as well. And there is also Gardner Supply, another company I use, and they have a really nice lighting system as well. So that gives you an idea of some of the different products you can get to make your plants really happy with sufficient light. And the good news is with the artificial lighting is if you see if a plant might be getting a little too much light, then you can pull the light away a little bit, or you can even turn the light off and use the lights in another location. So keep that in mind. Lighting, super important, and the right type of lights as well, super duper important. So thank you for stopping by and coming here today to watch this video. Please leave comments about any indoor gardening tutorials you'd like to see, and remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video.